o'clock just to survive, like, just to keep a roof on my
Talk
head.
to me.
Yeah.
Fucking talk to me.
I'm working 6 days a week, like, and my back is I was listening to you. Are you on now, are we?
It's live now, but I edit afterwards just to cut out the chit chats and shit. But
so I was listening to your on the way up there, and the 8th of March you were on about calling out your masonry buddies. That
I got a bit of shit over that because I was working with Alan, the guy down in Cork.
Yeah, you were.
He was getting his van fixed, and Alan's a big tank of a boy. You know what I mean? He's from Estonia, and he goes, "You call me baby, a big baby. You call me." I guess. But you are big baby. Why don't you come in and have the chat? You're brilliant at what you do. People are interested.
Yeah.
My English, no, because your English is fucking fine.
Perfect.
You're here 25 years. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, we can do it without maybe video. Sure, I can make a little video montage of stonework and have like a voiceover.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
but you asked a good question how you mentally approach it and how you physically approach it, like
fucking hell, man! It's a dance.
It's like day in day out. I don't do it day in day out. I like doing it, but I don't do it every day because I'm doing other stuff. But
I've realised now. This is the first time it's happened, but apparently I have tennis elbow now.
Oh Jesus!
I had to take a week off, dude.
I know.
I had to take a week off because even picking up a cup of coffee,
you can feel it.
Oh, fucking! I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah.
So I couldn't do any training or anything like. Not that I do. I have it at this stage in my life. I have it worked down to what works for me, and it's more about cushioning the damage that you pick up in the course of a week. So it's just simple things with your own body weight, jumping jacks, all that, just for all circulation
yoga,
and stuff.
Yoga.
Stretches, I'm big into stretches.
I have to...
Yoga, I'll go to sleep. I get too comfy.
Yeah, but I have to stretch in the morning. When I get out of bed...
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Because my lower left back, above my cheek is gone. So, like, even... I could be at work and I could be just sweeping up.
You know what's fucking
and it's
great for that? It's like... Were you ever in karate? And for mine, there was this thing where you, it's like you're about to kneel down, but you put one leg straight back, and then you stretch into the kneeling leg, we'll say, but you're still relatively standing, and you put your hands on your hips and you get your posture up slowly, but it's the breathing. You just do that and you fucking really tweak it out.
Yes.
Then you do the opposite side, and then you do some squats, just while you're waiting for the kettle to boil.
Yeah.
And it just fucking gives you that bit of energy and a bit of fluidity.
The baby pose, is it when you kind of squat down in the collar or
yeah,
something like that? I've been doing them.
I have
to do them because I'm as stiff as a board.
Yeah, when I wake up, I'm like a car crash up until like 3 coffees in. And then I'm like relatively okay. But even trying to fucking run around there with the kids, I mean, my mobility could be better. But it's like it's more to do with my activities. That's why the archery is great, because you're trekking through all terrains in all the different woods.
How did you get into it?
I wanted to get into archery since I can fucking remember, man. When we were living out just outside Fermoy, I just had a fig area and I said, "Fuck it, I need something," because the band fell apart, and I just wanted something that I didn't have to rely on other people.
Yes,
because other people are cunts. They fuck everything up because it's all like...
Well, everybody's busy in their own lives and everybody's got their own things.
Exactly, and it's like this. I mean, I thought initially I'd have local artists come in and we'll talk about art and just make like a habit, or every month someone might come in and say, "Oh, so how's that painting going?" or whatever. But the minute I mention it to a whole bunch of them, they get a panic attack.
Yeah.
And I was like getting pissed off with them then, because I said, if I'm willing to do it, why aren't you willing to do it?
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, you've no right to get pissed off with someone because they're so self-aware and conscious, and they don't want that. They're not ready to be expressing themselves on a public arena, if you know.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of out of your comfort zone, like.
Because I got into a little tantrum. And because I couldn't talk into the camera and shit. I was like, for a week, I was like, this is unnatural.
Yeah.
But I had a fucking panic attack, and not a panic attack.
I know, but I
got fucking rage.
Yeah.
And I just I was fighting with a painting, and the camera was on, and I looked at the camera, and then I goes, "Oh, you've a problem with the little camera." So then I'm fucking arguing with the camera, and then I'm laughing at myself for being a retard. And then I start talking about what happened, and then I thought that wasn't so bad. So then I started just doing it every day.
Very good.
And I thought, this is kind of fun.
Well, I met you at Christmas outside TJ's, and you
That's
were like,
right, yeah.
And I was like, geez, I haven't seen this man in out for pints, and I can't remember.
I don't have a life name that way.
I know. And then you said to me, "Would you?" I said, "Yeah, fucking, I'd love it." Like,
Yeah, I think you'd be brilliant because you've been everywhere. You do you're very active.
Well, I don't know.
You're proactive in a lot of ways. A lot of people.
Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you what. The reason why I came out was basically just to catch up with you. It's not to do a podcast. It's like,
unfortunately, if it was a Friday evening, I know we could have whiskies and shit.
We'll have
There might be part 2 then.
Well, yeah, we'll have that.
Because I've got a little thing about whiskey. It's like
I love it.
Appreciation.
Yeah.
I don't want to if I get hammered in the process, great.
Yeah.
But it's not like my.
What is your one? What is your whiskey?
I've settled on Tullamore Dew at the moment,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm after getting a weird, lovely, another brilliant. This customer I had was awesome. He gave me this cool bottle of whiskey, but it's in some kind of fucking canister thing. It's very high end looking. But Lucy's dad is coming over, I think, in a week or 2.
You're going to open up with him?
Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of whiskies there that we're going to try. So I'll be missing for about a week. So I've 2 jobs that I got to finish fairly lively.
Well, a colleague of mine gave me a bottle of West Cork Black Cask during the week. He doesn't drink whiskey, but
all right,
very nice, very nice. But what I'm actually, I drank a lot of Tullamore Dew.
It's lovely. It's softer.
Smooth, very light.
Yeah.
But Powers, I'm just on Powers, and I can't come off it. I love it.
Powers now and Jameson.
With just ice,
Aye.
just fill the tumbler with ice and top it up, and that's it. That's my favourite drink.
Well, favourite drinks. My favourite drink is rum, black rum. But it's like I've issues, dental issues. Like I can't believe, and I'm not happy about it. But I might as well have a bit of fun with it, so I'm going to go with all these fucking silver teas or some shit. You know, I might as well have a laugh.
Go for gold, sure.
I'm too pale for gold. You want to be really dark, sallow skin for gold, I think.
I don't know. Is anybody good
but silver is a bit more
anybody good for gold, Tito? I don't know about that.
I was looking at even just clips. You can get a clip. Is it I don't know what kind of silver it is, but in the English pound they want £127 for just a clip-on silver sterling tooth. Like, you out of your goddamn mind.
I know. Either that or go to Turkey.
I just want to have a giggle.
Go to Turkey.
Nah, I'm not really bothered. I mean, I say that I have to go in there now again tomorrow. I have an appointment with her, and I'm like, kind of dreading it. I'm not great with dentists.
But nobody really is. Like, nobody likes somebody poking at your teeth.
And fucking injecting shit in you. Aye. Yeah. Takes your body and mind, I think, 3 to 4 days to recover from that.
Yeah, but I know when I go in as well, I'm like, I can just feel how tense I am in the chair. Like, you're just...
I have a few tricks for that. She's there like to me the last time, you'll have to give up this, give up this, give up that. And I'm, whoa, slow down. Because Junior I was goofing with the boys just before Christmas, and I was on my knees. And I was resting the 2 of them, but Junior he's like a foal, he's all gangly and shit, and he's running at me to jump over me, but as I went down with my head, I got a knee straight into the gob, right on the top, and you could just feel the crack.
Oh no.
Like, oh, that's exactly what you're thinking. And then the pain followed, and then it kind of went away, so I said, it might grow back.
I know, and it's still there.
But you don't want to, and the next thing I'm fucking chewing on it while I'm looking at work, the way you'd stand back and you'd be looking, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yes.
And I'd be on the phone to some next thing, I nearly fucking, I just can't talk.
You got a dart of pain?
Yeah, and then the tooth is like a bell, it's just swinging. So I'm like, okay.
It has to come out.
It has to come out. I still wasn't going to the dentist. Lucy rang the dentist for me. She goes,
have to go.
You're going around the house like a fucking volcano waiting to erupt. There's tension everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm fine. So she took it out, and then she goes, I'm going to have to take out X, Y. And I goes, whoa, let's just focus on this issue and leave it at that.
But there's other issues.
Take it out, patch it up, and we're good to go. And she goes, yeah, but she got all these x-rays. And then she says, like, in the future, this could be a problem. Because let's live in the now. Let's let the future take care of itself. It mightn't happen. But we'll see now tomorrow.
Yeah, just stay on top of it.
So she says, you haven't been in since 2016. Because I don't like coming in.
Nobody does.
Just, why don't you like coming in? Every time I come in, you take a fucking tooth out.
Yeah.
And you don't tell me why. I said, what? I've been scouring the fucking Google for like how to have the best hygiene and blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying all these, and still here I am with you today. What the fuck? Can you tell me what the problem is? Or are you just interested in taking them out and replacing them with some shit?
I don't know.
I said, my vanity is getting pummeled. I said, I can't even talk. I'm very conscious of it. I was, but then I said, fuck it. It is what it is.
It is.
You don't mind if I have a cigarette?
No.
Do you want one?
No, I don't smoke. No. There's bigger problems in life than
fucking header is making sure that there's fucking income.
Tell me how are you getting on with the work?
Pretty good. Get a lot of local work last year. Yeah,
I love your two peers.
That was kind of just
nice colours.
I like the mix.
I like the colour.
I love the mix.
Yeah, really nice. I learned them straight away.
I just didn't know what to put on them. I was gonna put maybe a polished concrete thing on top of them, but then I was like, I'd have to get them pre-made because if you go shuttering that, it'd be messy.
Yeah.
I
shot a cap 2 weeks ago. It was only a small little cap up at the Montanati Hotel outside. There was a wall I had to take down a bit of a wall.
Yeah.
And the ESB sub had to be put back in. I had to build it up. But the wall, the stones are different sizes when you're trying to cap it. So I was like, I just put expanding foam in under the cap, and I just shoveled it in, floated it, and then when I took off the cap, I just cut off the expanding foam, and you couldn't see it. But that's the only way I could hold it. Like,
I couldn't be arsed. I'm getting very, like, before I'd show up at a job, and they'd be like, it's a fucking mess, yourself, and you have to go donkey worked in for a week before you even do stonework.
Yeah,
that's no. If you're not gonna fucking meet me, prepare the job. I'm coming to do the stonework for you. I'm not coming to dig fucking this and lay foundations. Go fuck off. When you've all that done, call me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be like, well, I'm not going to work with this guy, he's cranky.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's where you damage your body.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you go out sometimes and they're like, yeah, so we got this stone and that, and, I want you to do this and do that. And then you go and you look at the stone and it's like, I can't fucking build that. Like, sometimes I done jobs there where I was using a scanner and the bags were left over stone.
Yes.
And it's like,
that's always
what the fuck is this shit? Like,
you pull out windowsills and shit.
Yeah, but like, there's a wave in them, like, and so when you sit them on top, there's a massive gap in the joint when it's meant to be tight.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta take.
You gotta get some natural slate involved in that scenario.
Yeah.
It's because you can't dress that out.
Yeah.
The wave, you can't dress it out.
Yeah.
I'm doing piers now with the scanner. They were done already about 3 years ago, but then the block work was just, the block was on edge. It wasn't. They were hollow.
Yes.
And they got filled, and the shit expanded and blew out the blocks.
Oh, water got in.
Fucked up. It just didn't fucking set. Whatever went in the middle.
Oh.
And it fucked up the piers. The wall looks great. The capping is great on the walls. It's a nice big curving wall. But the 4 piers got fucked up.
So you had to repair them?
Yeah, so it just went down and said they have to come, everything that's even a little loose has to come away. And if it's straight, got it to where there was maybe a face on each that was okay. And that's all. Everything else was fucked. So told him, look, I removed all the stone, and I goes, yeah, it's full of shit. It's like mud over here, it's like sand over here.
No cement.
These things are like 2 meters fucking high, So I said, get all of that out and then let me know. And he said it'd be done over the weekend, and it was. So
very good.
Got the two big ones on the gate are finished. So I have the 2 side ones now. One is kind of half done.
Have you much in the pipeline?
I have a gable to do after that. I have to do another one for a ditch wall. I started it a while back for him, but it's casual enough.
Yeah.
It's fun actually. It's all dry. You're just stone and earth. That's all you're doing.
Earth in behind stone.
Just fucking pack it in, and the way you're laying the stone in is how it's locking in. It's out naturally, and then with gravity on top of it. Because what he wants to do, he'll come along later. I'll keep the stonework, we'll say, the same height all the length of the ditch, even if the ditch is up and down. Because he's going to address the ditch later on, and he wants to plant loads of colourful shit on top of that later. It'll look cool.
Very good.
I did his house with the scanner years ago, and his entrance. And now he just thought he tried to do himself, but it didn't go for him.
Okay,
you
need patience. You need patience for it. Like, but do you listen?
I don't know about patience because I don't know what. I think you just need to have. I don't know. It's just a fucking capacity for it in a sense. It's like because I find a lot of similarities when I'm painting to when I'm doing stonework. It's something that you'll get. lost then. Yeah. And then you feel like you fucked something up, but you can't quite see it.
Yeah. Until you step back, and then you say,
step back regularly.
You regularly 100%. You have to. Yeah, because if you don't...
Hence the smoking. Time for a ciggy.
Yeah. Because,
and you're taking it in.
Because you step back, like you get lost in it. And you could be at it for 2 hours, right? The next thing you're like, oh fuck, I better
back down.
I better step back and have a look. And then you're like, oh shit, there's a running giant there. And like, oh, how come I didn't see that?
And the line is fast.
Yeah, it's gone too long or something.
Yeah, you just gotta be, you gotta be relaxed.
Yeah.
Because I've been with other stonemates, well, one or two in the early days, and they'd be like talking like dogs, as if you're doing some block work or something in a field. And I'm like, this is a finished piece. This is fucking art. So I'll do it my pace, my way. And if you're happy with that, great. Yeah. If not, good luck.
Yeah.
There's no need to be fucking...
But you were always like that.
No need to be talking to me, like... Because I might be polite and nice, but you'll get a slap of a hammer one of the days. Because, I mean, I'm not going to get upset with me because of an outer influence being a cunt.
Yeah.
So, those days... They're gone.
They're gone, yeah. Being shouted at
and there's other stonemason. Every stonemason thinks they are an authority on the way it is. It's like, usually I can hear whoever trained them because they're so fucking traumatized by the guy that they've become him in a manner.
Yeah.
So when they're giving out to you about the way they do it.
It was the way they were spoken.
Yeah, I'm like looking at them and I'm saying, look, I'm not an apprentice, son. I'm here doing my work. You either want me or you don't. Yeah. And then they'll go on about the money. They try to fucking... I'm not interested in your nonsense. I know what's what. You want me or not? End of. Just go away. Leave me do what I do.
Yeah.
And since I kind of reinforced that attitude, I work with less people. But I'm...
Yeah, but you probably enjoy working on your own.
I do.
Yeah,
I prefer it.
Yeah,
I do prefer
it.
I
think we remember we tried to do an entrance sometime, but it's like we've two different styles, so it's like.
Well, if you're doing an entrance together, two different guys have to start it on the same day.
Yeah, and then you got to.
So you can leapfrog all the way.
Yeah, so you had one side done, and I was jumping on the other, and it just. Yeah, and that was lovely stone actually. That was nice stone to work with.
It came from, I think, Bandon area.
I'm not sure now.
It's lovely rusty colours and the blues and greens. Very pretty. But
yeah, I know. Like
a lot of fucking stone in it.
I worked with a guy one time and he was on one side. We were in kind of over a bay window at the front of a house. Yeah. Not a bay window, but a big open window, big window, and the door was to the right. He was on one side, I was on the other side, and he was only coming in now and again to help me. But it was the scanner. But I was making sure everything was level, and I can still see his stones, and they're like,
yeah.
And it's just like, oh. Okay.
But sometimes with that, I mean, I used to actually always level on the top of the stone until I started working with the scanner more often, and then it's like the bottom of the stone once that's level. Because, like you said, it's all fucking over the shop a lot of the time.
It's great when you get a good bag of stuff and you just take it out and you don't even have to dress it. Like sometimes you can just take them and put them straight in.
I've yet to meet this fucking bag because people are under this impression that's good stone now, that's cut stone, because that's nothing. That's bananas to me.
Shit, yeah.
Because that means I have to trim the top and the bottom because I want it straight. Yeah. I don't need any of this shit.
Yeah. Oh, those roundy corners.
I hate that shit. And they're like, just put it up.
Yeah, but people build with them and then they work it in. But I always take the edge off and straighten it.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't have it any other way.
Yeah, I don't like that curve in it at all.
And I can't.
But then again, Jamie, if you're on price and you need to get it up as quick as you can,
I can't do that.
I know, but I've seen guys on site.
I've seen it too. And they shutter the stone in. It's like, what the fuck?
You told me about that.
What are you doing? That's sacrilege. Yeah. It really is. I mean, where's the craft?
Yeah.
Where's the fucking...
It's money. It's about money. Like
look, I'm not naive. I know it's everything in the world, sadly, is about money. But you have to be brave enough at times to say, look, I put in my effort here, and this is making me. I can survive on this, but I'm not going to let it. It won't be compromised. And then after a while, everything else you do won't be about money. If money is the main thing, you're in trouble. I think. You know, I'm being a realist as well at the same time. So you're juggling to the ideas.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like you get to do it once, do it your way, and fuck them, and just price it right at the start if you can. I've priced them now recently, and it's like they don't get back to you.
Yeah.
And there's a few people ringing and they're looking for a price by meter. Now these people, I'm thinking,
are shopping around.
They're not shopping around. They're trying to go in and price a job themselves, and they're looking to see what's the going rate or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not how I do it. I don't go by meter.
You have to look at the stone first, and then
you have to look at the stone, the location, the scale of the job, and you have to factor in the time of year because it's the weather. Yeah. There's so much to factor in.
It's a hard game, man.
And even at that, I'm not saying I'm right all the time either, because there's jobs that I have to finish even now from last year. There's one there in particular. It's 4 pairs, but they're 4 free pairs. Because it's just, I thought it was going to be built one way, first time using the stone. Then they said, smash all the big ones. So now they're like fucking slices of fucking toast. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh God.
So that's kind of, that's like, you're always learning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just said, look, I can't be here now for another 2 to 3 weeks doing this shit for free. I've got bills to pay like anyone else. So I'll come by when I can to finish. Once I got the main job finished, I said I'll come back there when I get the chance. I was only up there recently prepping the pairs and clearing the foundation, and I was like, just the sand was meant to be moved. There was all things were meant to be prepped.
Yeah,
and my arm was fucking at this stage now. So I said, you know what? I'm going home.
Yeah,
going home to my studio now. I'm gonna have coffee.
Yeah,
I'm gonna work on a painting. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Are you selling many paintings?
I'm not even trying because I couldn't paint for the last definitely year.
Why?
Because I had outside things annoy me. I did a batch of paintings that went up to the top of the country for an exhibition before COVID. And the day before the opening for this exhibition, now these paintings I was very excited about them. They were really vibrant and the horses and stuff were all great. And there was a nice blend of nearly a traditional to a modern kind of thing. And then there was lockdown the day before the fucking. So that kind of annoyed me, and then the gallery got shut down. I mean, it's gone. And they emailed me, do you want to come and get your paintings? I'm like, that's not like I'll go click my paintings. That's like I have to go there, stay there, and come back. It's that far. And
where's it in Belfast?
Oh, it's beyond Belfast. It's right up at the top.
Antrim.
It's the last, we'll say, town or village or whatever the fuck. That's where it is. I mean, it's England.
My son had an operation up in Belfast last year. And,
all right.
He got a fractured dislocated shoulder in a rugby tackle.
Ouch.
About 2.5 years ago. But the HSC, there was a 6-year wait for him on this. So we got him operated on above in Belfast. But after the operation, the surgeon wanted to see him, you know. Mm-hmm. So we took the day off work, school, drove up. Over 4 hours up, like 4.5 hours up there or whatever to get to the hospital, and I went in and we sat down and can you do this, do that? And literally 6-7 minutes. He said, yeah, okay, off you go. Back down.
You couldn't do that in Zoom, no?
No.
They're just so fucking retarded.
But look, we had to do what we had to do, and he's fine now. But,
that's another thing.
But I with me, Jamie, I don't mind driving. I don't
mind driving either, but it's like I'm fucking kind of retarded because I'll have like my week nearly planned out and what needs to get done. I have my objectives that I've created for me. I said, right, for me to get this, I need this and this done. I have this amount of time, and then someone comes in out of that and says, curveball. Yeah. Can you come up?
You mean you like your routine?
Yeah, and because it's geared towards me being productive, not only for the work, but for all my other things that are important to me, like my painting, my fucking archery, my fucking in here.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously the family time and all of that stuff. Of
course, yeah.
So it's like,
it's hard to make time, like.
I'm juggling like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And people saying, why are you doing that? You make no money at that. And I'm like, fuck off and grow the fuck up with your make money.
Yeah.
It's not, my life isn't about making money.
No, it's about
my life
happy.
is about experience, living and feeling and fucking connecting.
Yeah.
Now, it's like I'm dealing with old world mentalities fucking more and more. The more I reach out to people, the more I'm getting that vibe, and I'm like, wake up.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're on about, but the way the system is, like, people are working their ass off
just to survive.
So it's like, which is fucked up, like.
Look,
it's like, do you know when we grew up?
But people have all the power. It's just they refuse to acknowledge this and act on this.
But when we grew up, it was like, our dads worked, our mums raised us, stay-at-home mums. Now, there's none of that.
There's no connection with the parents for half of them. They hate them sooner. My boys, I mean,
I love these, by the way.
They're awesome, aren't they?
They're class.
Yeah, I like them.
Copper's good.
I love it. It's meant to be so good for you. But like I was saying earlier on, there was when they went back to school, didn't Sabby bring some vomiting bug home? Poor little dude was fucking wiped out for 3 days. And of course, Lucy she's with them all the time. Yeah. So then she fucking got it, and then Junior got it, and I was like, oh, for fuck, here we go. I didn't get it. And I was like, because Lucy was down for a few days. They were all down for a few days. They were wiped.
Yeah.
And so you're involved, you're doing everything, you're just getting on with it, like.
Yeah.
And it didn't touch me.
Very good.
So I was thinking, what am I doing that they're not doing? Well, I suppose number one, I'm eating meat every day.
What, steak?
Steak. I eat steak, pork, fish, chicken, and what else is it? Just some minces. Pork mince and beef mince.
Okay.
Get it from Fitzgerald's and from mine.
Okay. I'm doing a lot of fasting now lately.
Fasting is awesome.
I did a 48-hour fast. It's the longest.
That's not awesome. That's insane. What I think.
No, it's not. It's easy.
If you incorporate it into your everyday as opposed to having these bursts, it's like I'll get up at 6 a.m. and say pretty much every other fucking day. I won't eat till maybe 11, and when I say eat, I'll have some boiled eggs or some egg fucking concoction, and that's it. And maybe the same thing around 1 or 2, and then I'll have a dinner around 8, and then that's it. I won't eat again till.
Well, that's
kind of every day.
About 3 weeks ago, I did a 48-hour fast, and I could have gone longer, and it was just water. But
once you get through that initial tension,
if you just top up with water, like I was drinking a lot of lemon water, but so like I'll have a steak, say Sunday night, right? Yeah. Tonight, I'll have a steak and eggs, maybe few chips or something, and then I won't.
Chips, dude.
So, I know, just a couple, but
I love a lot.
But so it says that's at 7 o'clock. So then when I wake up in the morning, I get up at 6.
Yeah.
By 7 o'clock before I leave the house, I have a 12-hour fasting already. So I skip to 10 o'clock and I skip to 1 o'clock. And when I get home, and I'm working I'm working now on a shovel, on a rake, doing pouring concrete or physical work, right? And all I'm doing is drinking. Everybody's eating their sandwiches at 10 o'clock.
It's a state of mind, though.
It's no problem. And then eat a meal then at 7 again. And I'm feeling. I've no indigestion, I've no heartburn, I'm not bloated, I'm feeling really good.
I've identified where I get
shit,
bloated.
too much shit.
Look, all the food is shit.
Right.
Today, everything is so shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I heard some guy saying I'd be going down rabbit holes all over the shop, just fucking, what's going on? And then you realise, can't trust any of this shit, it's just entertainment. Even the real news is just entertainment. It's all propaganda everywhere.
Well, I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching television. I used to listen to news talk radio all the time. I started listening to the radio when COVID came in and all that horse shit. Yeah. And I was like, that's it.
Even before COVID, I was getting tinfoil hat on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it was like, how are people they just want... And I get it, because no one needs to be a fucking warrior. It's not in their mind. We're not brought up to be fighting and questioning every fucking we should have been, but you're meant to, like, you go to college, you get a job, you work real good, and you have a really good life. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. Yeah. The colleges are infested with some fucked up ideologies.
Yeah.
The jobs are infested with fucking tight-fisted, greedy people who'll just use and abuse.
Yeah.
Fucking, there's like an attack on anything beautiful.
Yeah.
If you're doing beautiful work, it costs too much. We'll replace it with some plastic fucking ugly yoke for a third of the price.
How things have changed, like.
I'm like, dude. Yeah. So I used to be very kind of angst until I said, okay, I have to remove emotion from the equation. I have to look at everything that touches my brain and just say, in relation to me, what can I do here?
But you know what to do, like.
I remove myself is what I do.
Well, I know. I often, I would remove, I'll be on Instagram a good bit now. I don't really go to Facebook, but sometimes I just have to switch them off and take them off.
Facebook apparently is dying, but at the same time, I can see through the artery and all the other things that it's only now becoming, maybe because all the, I don't know, most people are going to a sexier thing, like Instagram, like TikTok. But Facebook seems to become what it was meant to be initially now.
To communicate with people.
Yeah, in groups and all that shit on a proper level.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I don't know what the fuck, it was like the wild, wild west of crazy. I mean, there's still elements of it there. Yeah. Of course, any fucking platform is going to be infiltrated by some propagandist for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So it's like... Yeah. Like the young fella now, we got them their iPads, but we're trying to fucking be strategic with how much time they'll get with it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it is the future for their time. So they're going to have to be able to have the language of using it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want them being cut off completely.
Yeah.
But the difference in their fucking personality when you're trying to take it off the younger one.
Yeah.
Cunt. A pure cunt. And I'm like, because she's like, you know, by the book, Mammy does this. But I'm Beachfield. I'm like, I'll kick your fucking head in and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You can't speak to me like that. And so I pick him up, man. And he's parked in his fucking room till he calms down.
Yeah.
I'm like old school. There's no hesitation. If you need a smack in the arse, you're getting a good-o. But yeah, it's like, you have to be vigilant all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you come home from a long day in the middle of the week and you got aches, you got pains, and you got stresses, you're thinking about... Even the drive home is like an attack on your peace because you have to fucking go through all the things that need to be done. And then you're met at the door by your innocent little son, and he's like, out of the blue, my teacher said if I get a smack, if someone hits me in the face, I have to walk away. Now at the moment I'm like, you just assume, did someone smack you? And straight away you're getting that fucking that protective parent thing kick in. Yeah. And then you're down on your knee looking at him in the eye and you're trying not to scare him. You're like, you can tell Daddy, it's okay. Did someone hit you? And he's straight away nervous. No. But my teacher said because if someone fucking hits you and then I lose it, and Lucy's like, what the fuck are you saying? He's only 7.
Yeah.
And then I might have mentioned it on the podcast and what I thought about I think they might have heard about that because I had to collect them a week or two later. And I was getting some really... strange looks off of someone that works in the school, like fucking guy's not right in the head. But I am old school that way. They're not. They're property. They're not. They're under our guardianship.
Yeah.
No, they're their own property, and all this bullshit about freedom of speech as well that's going on.
Oh, let's stop.
The fact that that's a thing tells me that the mind has been captured by the majority. I mean, they're captured.
Oh.
You shouldn't even be thinking this is an argument.
Yeah.
No other entity has any fucking right over your thinking or your talking. And it's not even a conversation to be had.
It's mind-boggling, really, and it's kind of depressing, isn't it?
I was getting caught up in it, but then I just thought...
Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. You got to worry about yourself. You can't control
I'll do what I do, and if there was a few times I might have had a rant when someone wanted to talk politics, which I hate.
Yeah.
And then I get a message straight away off YouTube once I uploaded the fucking thing, and they're like, everything was fine, James, until you got to this time, and up until this time. That we can't have on the platform.
Politics.
Well, it was what I was saying about a particular individual and a rant.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so I can't talk about that individual. Especially, there was a Hurley mentioned and 5 minutes in an empty room. And I got a bit graphic. So I thought, okay, so you have to look at it then and say, okay, I can understand that because I'm looking at it because now that I'm calm and relaxed, I did go a bit mental there. And you can't be... It is going out. You don't know where it's going. It's going to loads of places. So instead of getting all conspiracy, say, "Oh, my freedom of speech has been," it's not. It's more in a lot of the cases. I look at it and goes, I understand that. That makes me look really fucking stupid as well. But at the same time, my kind of mantra is be real or fuck off.
Yeah.
But I was real, and it was like maybe 5 minutes of a 2.5 hour thing. So I cut that out and re-upload it, and everything was fine.
Okay.
Now, they're not a public fucking... they're private business. So they have everything is around our content, I suppose. They can't market it and then get their revenue. So that's where that's coming from. And that's all. It's just, bottom line is, you're interfering with our money. We can't put ads on this kind of content, you cracker. You gotta get rid of that. Yeah. So it's like, you accept that and you move on. Or else you close down your shop and you fuck off. So There's compromises in life everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and then there was another one. You know, crackers. In our house, like, yo, fucking crack. It was like every other day. The grandparents would even say, like, you're a cracker. You're cracked. You're tapped. You're retarded.
Yeah.
It's a polite way of...
Yeah, I know. It's just,
trying to rein you in. So, I use it without even thinking. And then there's a few people saying that's a bit, I'm like, a bit what? So I Googled, like, is this an offensive term?
Cracking.
It's to do with the crack of the whip back on the fucking, the cotton days.
Slaves.
Yeah. So it's to do with that.
Oh.
And over there, that's all well and good. But over here, that is not where it's from, and that's not what it's about. So if you're going to put your platform globally, you have to have a little understanding of the culture.
And have you many followers in the States, or?
I haven't a clue. I used to look at the numbers a lot, but then my nephew was telling me, because he got all excited about, like, you should do this and you should do that, and I'm like, hey, that sounds like work. I'm not doing any of these things. I'm just like, there are ways where you can go and increase your numbers by behaving a particular way and doing, like, if you're in there, like, giving out about a lot of things, apparently. So I'm like, no. I want to enjoy it, and I want to, it started out for the art. But then, like I told you, none of the artists would come in, so I was like, fuck this. But then I was enjoying it, so I moved on. Yeah. And then, because I was doing kayaking, we were talking about kayaking for a while. And then the archery is big in it.
Is Davey doing the archery with you?
Dave's doing the Rambo bow. I'm doing the more, close to a traditional bow.
How's he doing?
I
haven't seen him in years.
He'd be calling around today, actually. He's over at the woods today shooting for the club, or with the club, practice.
With the bows?
There's a bunch of them.
You got him into it?
No, well, this is how it happened now. Me and Lucy had our bows, because we're out in Night Clash. And we just had the dogs. The dogs ate the furniture. So, 3-piece suite. So that went out at the end of the garden. And I said, we'll use it as target practice. And that's what we did. Until I burnt it. But we'd no fucking clubs. We didn't know what to do, so we just said, fuck it, we have the bows, let's enjoy them and just figure it out. And then we were down at the Cork Summer Show, and David was there, and of course we had the kids, and Junior was flipping out. So I was kind of on Junior detail, and Lucy then was taking Sebastian off on these fucking carousels or some shit. And David comes over and he goes, there's a fucking tent over there for Cork Archery Club. I goes, oh, you gotta go and check it out. I said, I'll go after you. But I didn't get to go because Junior melted. And Dave went over and he got hooked. And then he heard by chance that there was a club out there in Burncourt.
Wow.
So he went and checked that out, and next thing you know, he's shooting the compound bow.
What's the compound bow?
It's like Rambo's bow with all the wheels and shit.
Okay.
It's super precision. But so he got into that.
It's just all targets you shoot like.
Well, you go into the woods, you get 3D targets like animal models,
yes.
And they're all scored then, and at various distances and through tight angles, and it's fucking pretty fun. And so he got into that, and then because the club was there, I went to the club, and then Lucy went to the club. So we'd rotate every second Monday because we've no babysitter, fuck all. And then I went out by my own without a club after I got, because you have to be with them for like a year. You have to sign up with the governing body for insurance.
Okay.
But you need a club for that, and then after a year you can go and be like independent. And I did that, but then there was a hoo-ha in the club where most of them fucked off and started a new club, and then they called me over to be in the new club because they had the woods and everything. I said, sure. And I was the PR for that, or the PRO, and with them now. This is our first year actually, but it's cool.
Good hobby.
And we went up to Derry last year for the UKFAC. That's like England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland.
Where in Derry?
Some fucking sports grounds.
Just outside the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't go out like it's fuck. I was like, it was a disappointment because I thought there'd be more fucking bells and whistles. It's a big tournament, like, but
basic enough.
Very bad. It's fucking shit. But we went. There's certain you go all over Ireland, like down to fucking Wexford, down to fucking Waterford, up to Laois, and Galway.
Have you the van kitted out or anything with the bed in the back? Or
no. Dude, my van's a disaster.
Just everything's lobbed in.
Fuck that. By the time I'm getting to the back of that van, it's like close it as quickly as you can and fuck off.
Okay.
It's just basically for... But I have a case for all my gear, so everything goes into the case, lock it down, it goes into the passenger seat. Unless David's coming with me on the day, then I just throw a few jackets in the back, throw the case on top of that, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But you get to see some fantastic parts of Ireland.
Yeah.
So I love that. It's just getting up early part sucks, but it's just me being lazy.
But the early bird catches the worm.
Yeah, well, you'd think that, but I was actually very, very good.
You're up at 6 every morning?
Every morning.
Yeah.
I was very, very good with the shooting and shit. I went into my first competition 2 years ago. And then you get more kind of tuned into what everyone's talking about, the gear and all that. And then I fell off a cliff. And I was like, I'm shit. But then I got a bronze in the fucking National Indoor Championships last year. In a shoot-off for my dad.
Okay.
So first time for both. And it was awesome. But then again, it's like there's no consistency. But I'm not putting in the training. You should be training every day. Or shooting.
You don't have
day.
the time, Jamie.
No, you don't. I mean, this week now I got to do 60 hours a day after work, which was great.
60 minutes.
60 hours. That'll take. But you're just practicing your form because I'm doing this coaching course to get in on. We'll say you get level 1 coaching, level 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm halfway through level 1, and what I figured out in level 1 was I was doing loads of things wrong. So I applied that then and I felt a lot better. But it's just I keep fucking with my bow. I got a savage looking bow, man. My Batman bow. But it's like trial and error still. And there's people like, why are you shit like? I'm like, well, I'm shit hot other days, so fuck you, man. These people are at it for 15, 20 years. I know. I've just showed up. Yeah. And so but I love doing it. The people you meet are fucking awesome. But yeah, it's funny because I be looking back over like what's the main content I'm fucking involved in, and it's more fucking archery than anything. I mean, people think this is an archery channel. It's not. It's just whatever goes, whatever's whoever shows up, whatever they want to talk about, if anyone shows up. But I had in my head then to have it once a week regardless, to set in a kind of a rhythm and a bit of discipline.
Are you doing it once a week?
Every week, yeah. But the fact that I can't get people to come in because I might be doing it at 11 o'clock at night time because the way my day went, by the time I get home from work, have the kids sorted with herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got a half an hour there. I'll run in now and I'll get what I need done. And you can't be expecting people to come along. I mean, like I said, there's so many things that I just didn't assume. I didn't assume people would be, weird. Just doing a video podcast even. I didn't think they'd be like, a lot of people that I asked were like, sure, I have nothing to say, what the fuck. It's like they don't want to put their line in the sand on anything. And it's not like you're looking for controversy. You're looking for have the crack.
Well, I had no problem because I know you're fucking forever.
Yeah, I mean, there's like with Alan now, he's just, a lot of people are just shy. Yeah. That's all it is. It's nothing bigger or smaller than that. They're just shy. Yeah. So it's like, I said, well, I can't wait on people to say yes. So I'm just going to keep going. I mean, if I'm enjoying it, why not? The day I'm not enjoying it is the day I won't be doing it. Yeah. But if, you know yourself, if you want to do a thing, you got to show up. Why you're doing it, I don't know why I'm doing it. It was boredom, I was actually trying to convince a buddy of mine to do it because I think he's tailor-made. Because I was watching more and more podcasts because I stopped watching TV, stopped watching news, kind of rarely listen to the radio. And what else is there? I've watched nearly every documentary I can find at the moment. So then I went into all these podcasts and I found I was fixed on them. It's like, this is interesting. It's a new medium and it's something to play with. So then it just occurred to me, I heard myself giving out to my buddy, why aren't you fucking doing this for his art? Because he's fucking tailor-made personality-wise and knowledge-wise and his attitude, perfect. But he's like, fuck that, load of shit. No, I goes, fine. You know what? And then in my head I was saying, maybe if I did it, and he'll probably look at that and then he'll probably gauge it. So I did it. And he still thinks it's shit. But I think it's it's a nice, I suppose because I don't go to the pub or anything anymore, and that's where I'd had a lot of conversations in the past.
Yeah.
And you know, most of your friends have either moved on or moved out of the country or dead. So you're not really getting, you know, you don't want to be isolated because you're not going to fucking grow or learn anything new. You want to get the little, I don't know, those deft little touches in the way someone might see something or say something. And it's nourishes your brain. So there's that, but again, it comes back to no one will come in, and there's only so many people you can ask when they say no. You have like a quota of rejection that you can, okay, I have to take about 3 months off now to build up the fucking, okay, that's fine. Otherwise, like, you know, no, just fucking, it's your gig, do what you want to do. And that's it.
Yeah.
So it is fun. And you learn, there's actually, you know, Mike Hennessy in for Mike.
I saw the moment, Mike. He's a nice lad.
He started doing one now for...
He's on TikTok, is he?
He's on YouTube as well.
But he's in the bike shop, like.
Yeah, he's doing a podcast as well. He brought in a few. I've to watch them all in full. I've only glanced at them so far, but he's to fix his sound and the lighting. But these are all things you figure out, like, you know.
As you go, like.
Yeah. I mean, I had no fucking microphone or nothing for the first 20. And that one is still not fucking... It's working, I just need to get... In my head, that'd be too much bullshit now when I'm editing. You know, have 2 fucking audio lines. So it's like, everything, you find your time to do it when you should. So don't be fucking putting yourself under pressure to do it. No one gives a fuck. You're the only one who gives a fuck, so once you figure that out, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like with painting. You're painting.
Tell me about this painting here. How come your podcast is called Blackbird?
Well, I don't know if you've known. Usually up here we've a ton of the fuckers. I was going out the garden. There was, you know, that big hedging that's all around the place?
Yeah.
It was vibrating and there was like fucking the sound coming out. And I go, what the fuck is that? I opened the back door. I'm picking something up to throw at the hedge. And next thing, this fucking hawk comes flying through the middle of the hedge with a little bird in his fucking claw. And all the crows are trying to get to the hawk to release the bird, it looks like. And I'm like, I just run at the bird. And he goes off that way and he dropped the little guy in the hole. And he went off that way and all the crows chased him. And it was the most fucking magnificent thing I've ever fucking... It was like thrilling, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. So then I'd be throwing bread out the window all the time. She's always giving out to me about it because she said they're destroying the place. And I'm filming them. I'm photographing them. They make great sketches.
The Blackbird?
Yeah, they make fantastic. The crow in general.
Oh, the crow.
But people are saying, why you can't... It looks more like a crow in the paint. And I goes, well, the crow is a bird and it's black, so it's a blackbird.
Did I ever tell you the story? I got a call to dig a grave for... Michael Flatley. He was making a movie called Blackbird.
That's right, yeah. No, I know about the movie though.
Oh yeah. So I got a phone call, but I dig a grave. So for the set. So
for a scene in the movie or something.
Yeah. So it was been filmed in Castlehyde.
Right.
So we went out anyway, and I met the set director, and we had agreed on a price to dig the grave. So the opening scene. Have you seen the movie?
No, not yet.
So when the opening scene of the movie, there's like an oak tree, and Castlehyde is behind it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of graves and a couple of fake headstones. They look really real now, but they're just foam like. But so we dug a grave, but kind of maybe 6 foot long, 3 foot deep.
Yeah.
And so when we were digging away, next thing Michael Flatley came out the next day, and everybody was around. There was a real big buzz going on, and I think there was a few famous actors there. But he came over, and how he got on. I was just talking to him about America, and he was, and I was telling him I was an Eagles fan, and he was he loved the Bears, and we were talking about rugby and stuff like this, and really down to earth he was. And he said, "Are you hungry?" He said, No, we're grand. He said, "Leave it with me." So next thing he went away, and he came back out with these Parma toasted ham sandwiches wrapped in tin foil with a bottle of water and a packet of Doritos for us, and he fed us. And we were chatting for ages. So the set director said to me, "Do you know where we can get 50-gallon drums? Because we're doing this kind of a war scene." And I said, yeah, leave it with me. So next thing I think I got him onto James Noonan in Amber Isle.
Yeah.
And James, I think, was poking out a couple of drums. And he said to me, listen, do you know anybody with a van? He said, I need a 50 caliber machine gun collected from up beside Drogheda, between Drogheda and Dundalk.
Back to the IRA days.
Yeah, so I goes, leave it with me. So I rang Eddie and I said, do you want to come to up towards the north to get a gun? And he's like, what? I said, yeah, it's a 50 cal. And he's like, fuck it, yeah, let's go. So up we went, and we went to this museum in Cullen.
This is sounding weirder and weirder.
Up in Cullen, now it's in County Louth. And there's a war museum there, and this guy started off with a few things, and now it's got World War One. You've got the Boer War up to Vietnam, or World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, Korean War, everything. All the weapons, tanks, guns, everything. It's amazing. So he gave us the full tour. So I said, look, he knew I was coming, like, because they've used them before.
Yeah.
He used every kind of gun. So we loaded up to 50 cal and a tripod, and he said, do you want a box of grenades? And so I said, fuck it, throw them in. So down we went, gave it to the boys below, and he said to me, we're looking for a Toyota Hilux, a single cab Hilux. And he said, do you know anybody down here? And I was like, I don't. I said, well, leave it with me. So I rang my brother, and I said, where are you? And he says, I'm in Castleton Roach. I said, look, we're involved in the movie over here in Castlehyde, and they're looking for a Hilux, an older one now. It has to be single cab. And he's like, no, I don't know anybody. And next thing he's like, fuck it, there's one coming down the street there now. I said, stand out in front of him. I said, wave him down. So he waved down the dude in the fucking truck, and he said to him, listen, my brother must have taught you there. This is bizarre, like.
Very.
So I put the phone in, and I said, listen, told him the story. I said, will you come over to Castlehyde? They'll pay you to look after you. So your man lands over with this 1992 Hilux, and I meet him. I'm introducing him to the set director, and they mount the 50 cal on the back of his truck with the tripod, and then they start, and I go away and do my thing, like I go back to work, like, and your man rings me a week later, and he's like, Jesus, he said, they paid him well, like, he was there for a couple of days with him. Michael Flatley was chatting with him and all, and he said, great experience, and I still see him.
What an experience! I mean, you're just driving down the road.
Yeah.
Someone stops the car.
We need you for a movie.
You're in a movie with Michael Flatley and all the other stars.
Yeah. So, and then about a week later, then they ring me and they pay me to go back up, drop the gun and the grenades back up. Obviously, they're not live, like, but they're decommissioned. So I rang my buddy Damien. I said, Damo, he was in Dublin at the time, and I said, listen, I've to drop a 50 cal back up to the north. Do you want to come? And he was like, what? And so I collected him in Dublin. I opened up the back of the caddy van, and here was this 50 caliber machine gun in the back with the box of grenades. And we went back up, and he man gave us another tour. Any weapon you wanted, he would give it to you, like, it was.
That sounds awesome, though. I mean, if that was me, I'd have it all up as if, like, up and doing that. We're fucking sick of this shit. This is what we got. We're going to be in Dublin for a march. Just set them all crazy, like.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
But actually, early days, I seen Michael Flatley. He had his people, I assume, had a thing, and I had a few drinks with me, so I thought, fuck it. I said, here, Mike, next time you're in Fermoy, give me a holler. We'll have a chat at the Blackbird Podcast. Of course, he never got back to it, like, But then he got sick, I think.
I don't know now, but he was really nice man, like, really down to earth.
The few times I met him now, he was exactly that. He'd be like, he'd be nearly amused at any fuss that might be made. That's all it would be, amused.
Yeah,
come on. Until what's his name?
You know he has a whiskey bar in Castlehyde.
Does he?
Yeah, and I was going, geez, I hope he invites me in there.
Is that sold or what?
No, I think he still owns it. Yeah, should you remember the rhino horns were at one end of the house and he was in the other end of the house and they got robbed.
Yeah,
beautiful place. I was inside in the kitchen part, but
I went in with some crazy people that I was. It was probably the first few months I had anything to do with stonework in my life, because I was kind of bored. It kind of happened. I said, okay, I'll follow with you for a while, see what happens. And when we were going into Flatley's Best, when we were doing all the reconstruction and stuff,
wow,
going through the gates, straight away you're like, the drive down the driveway is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then when you come out and there's this fucking huge kind of valley nearly, and there's the house. It's just magnificent.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Absolutely magnificent.
It should be a hotel or something like. It should be something like that, or for weddings or something like.
It's totally. And the shit thing they give him over steps in the house, that the money he's pumping into it, I'll even do whatever the fuck he wants.
I think he spent 20 million on it.
Easily. Sure, he bought it for maybe 1 or 2, did he?
It would have fallen down only for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's but there's so many like that.
And do you know, like, the Castle Heights Cemetery, you know the church there beside the house? He wanted to get married there, and he offered to renovate the whole thing. And I don't know, the Historical Society, I don't know who, but it said no, it can't be touched, and the place has fallen down.
Yeah, those people need a fucking shake. I mean,
and he had a plot over in the corner that he wanted to be buried there. That's how much he loved the place. Like,
that's it's these pen pushers, man. They ruin everything. I mean, when you have, we'll say, a system set up like, we'll say, for just democracy, there's systems in place so you won't have what we have today. Unfortunately, they get corrupted, and when the systems fail because of pen pushers and human greed, then everything is just so retarded.
Civil service.
It's the fucking it's suffocating. Yeah. It's suffocating society for what it, potential of societies. Yeah. And it's just, the more I looked into this whole politics, blah blah blah, and this and that, I go, feels sick.
Oh, it's mind-boggling, yeah.
I used to you really do. I mean, in my head, I'm thinking, I have one life. Life is fucking short. Time is fleeting. Do I really want to waste it being involved in any of this?
Jamie, I keep saying it, right? The last 10 years, say 2015 to 2020, went like that.
Smoke through a keyhole.
Like that, right? So how many, what have we, 2-3 clicks left? If we've three
I remember you saying something like that to me, and it was fucking profound effect to me. I was like, how can he be thinking this way? It's very fucking like, you're going on about your birthday was coming up or something, and then you go, so if you think about it, and you're so blasé about it, and if you think about it, that means I might have maybe 20 years. What? And I was like,
well, you gotta have your kicks now, like, because it's
dude, you gotta have your kicks all the time,
yeah.
But it's like, because I thought I
like after hard days work now. My back has been going the last few weeks. I was stretching again this morning now, like, just from the physical work, like. Like, I come home, you come home from work, you have to wash clothes or clean cook dinner, then,
finding time to do whatever the fuck you want, as opposed to...
or you might have to do, like, a little side job in the evening there when the weather's good and stuff like that.
I put them away.
Oh, yeah, well...
Fuck that.
Yeah, but sometimes I have to do them just to pay the bills.
I'm the same, but I'm still saying no. If I don't believe in a particular way of being, I'll never get it. If I'm just looking at it and thinking about it from afar, if I don't live it, it doesn't come into being.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, my little joy in the evening then is a glass of whiskey and a few peanuts. Get into the recliner, sit back, and just.
Maybe that recliner is not good for your back.
No, I don't get to spend that much time in it. But no, it isn't about my.
Do you know
posture.
what I found was good for your back? Because my lower back, it's like it gets really tight and sore.
Yeah. Can you touch your toes when you're standing up? Can you?
I insist on it every morning. Every morning. Yeah. It took a week to get there. Yeah. But now I can do it. Like, I don't rush to it, but within like 1-2 breaths I'm there. Yeah. But it's like, I keep saying it to people in our age bracket, and they're thinking like, so you got to do push-ups every day. Yeah. It's not like
I did 20 this morning.
Slow breathing push-ups, because if you're on your toes. Because my wrists are fucked, so I have to go down on my knuckles.
That's funny, my wrist was hurting me today when I was doing my 20. And I used to
go on your knuckles.
Yeah.
It's it's way better. Yeah. But you gotta do
and how often do you do your press-ups?
Every day.
For how long have you been doing this?
Since Sebastian was born, probably.
Okay.
But obviously when you get sick, you're not going to do it.
Not every day.
And when my arm was fucked, I was like, I dare I chance it? Because if it's going to go, I'd sooner go work while I've progressed a bit, as opposed to getting ready for work, you know what I mean? But you have to be mindful of that. If you have a niggle or whatever, I'm like, okay, if I can't go benching or push-ups, or I can squat today, and then stretches. So there's always something you can address.
Because we're not getting any younger. Like one of my colleagues...
This just to keep you moving.
One of my colleagues on Wednesday or Thursday was standing into a trench and slipped and tore his ankle, ligament damage. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks.
Fuck.
And another guy is just after coming back from Spain getting his knee redone from work. And it's like, and when I think about the tennis elbow and stuff, and it's like, man,
that's the first real nag I've had now since I can remember. But it's like, that's why I said I can't really afford to be taking time off.
This is
but I'm taking time off.
Yeah.
And we'll just make it work. End of. And it's, then you get talking to people, and there's a few things like just even doing that regularly while you're doing something like this.
Yeah.
It just kind of helps the tendons kind of get their thing back. But it is, a lot of people think when you're talking about training and weight training and just, they think you're being macho or something. They don't get it. Like, they obviously work in an office or something.
Yeah.
When you do the life we do, the outdoor work,
you
gotta get as much padding on your body as you can, and then most of it gets burnt off because of the nature of the job.
It's funny now you're talking about press-ups, like, because it's the first time I did them today now, but I used to do them all the time, and the last year, I suppose, I stopped doing it, and I'm like, because I'm so stiff at the moment from work, I'm like, I got to get back. So I started my squats last week, and I started my press-ups this morning.
It's the way to go. And it's, when you talk about going to the gym and all of that, I think that's, for me anyway, it fucks it up for me. Because if I can't do it in my bedroom, for example, I'm not doing it. And so what you have to think, what can I do without anything? Well, just my body. And there's loads
to do.
You don't have to be a genius to figure this out. And it's just about fucking preps and repeat. And know when to stop. And you're not there to you're not going into bodybuilding or anything like that, but you are building up your resistance to injury. That's what it's about. That's all it's about. Fucking longevity. So it's like, you see some people and they want everyone around to see that they're the man and they're going to work all this hard work. And I'm like, good for you. Off you go. I'm not doing that. I'm using my brain efficiently. I need to do this, and how I do this is the best way I can do it. And I don't need to be lifting stupid weight and whatnot on uneven ground.
What's the future holding for us, Jamie, with the work and the physicality of it?
Well, obviously it's got a lifespan. Go as long as you can go. That's what I reckon. And now is a very good time to find something, not only financially, not even financially, but something for your brain. You need to be really nurturing interests.
Well, I was on the building site there for the last 4 years, but we were with a crew of guys, and there was about 11 or 12 of us. Every one of them was sound out, and it's like everybody works together and pulls together. No bullshit, nothing, just 11 or 12 guys.
I think building sites are perfect for men.
I absolutely love going to work. You know what I mean? I don't want to miss a day, because it's like
the crack.
The crack is so good. The guys are so sound, and no matter how kind of shitty a job you have, there's always somebody with you to, so you bounce off each other. I've changed jobs now because the building site finished. So I'm with DSB now doing different work. But some days you have a tough day, some days you have a handy day. But every day is different. There's a variety. Like some days you could be up the country on a stop and go, or you could be putting a pole up in a field, or you could be repairing brick paving in the city, or you could be putting tarmac down. A lot of variety. Every morning you go in, you think you're on a job there for 2 or 3 days, and it's like you could be building a wall and you could be up so high, and next thing like, I get that job finished tomorrow, and then you come in and say, man, we got to get you up here, you got to do it. And it's I love it.
Well, it's cool that way, because you know yourself with the stone, you're looking at what's in front of you, you're trying to divide it up into productivity for a day, and then you have to factor in the weather, which we rarely do. Until we're in it.
Well,
it's raining.
I remember my first job, second or third job, and I was like doing a stone entrance, and I was on my hands and knees breaking stone, and next thing it was
normal.
There was muck. It was raining down the top, and I went, what the fuck have I chosen for myself?
But that's saying that. But when you have chosen it.
Yeah, but when the weather's good,
it's not actually, because I was lifting those fucking pairs this week, right?
You done those this week?
Yeah.
You only have to do them?
No, not those. The
other ones. Oh, yeah.
The Lascano ones. And there's no moving around really. And it's right under the heat. And I forgot my hat.
I love the heat.
But I was like, at around 3 o'clock, I was like, I'm fucking feeling kind of weird. I think I should go in the shadows for a while. And I haven't made it to 5 o'clock. So I'd be getting in there like a bit earlier. And I was like a demon till maybe 12 o'clock.
Isn't it mad? Isn't it mad weather for early April? Like,
but I remember it not too long ago. All right, we had a few shitty ones, but it used to be the norm for a long time.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
Let's not go down that path now.
It used to be the norm.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of look again. There's this. What is it? The fucking things in the sky, all the
chemtrails.
Yeah, and all this shit. And I'm like, then there's guys getting dust off their car and putting a magnet to it because you're breathing. I go, for fuck's sake. I don't need to hear this shit.
I know.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
How am I going to get my bow and my arrows and who am I going to shoot? And I'm not a great shot. What am I going to do?
I know.
I can only hope that in the world that we live in whatever world it is, they can't even agree on what kind of a world we're living on. So it's like, I can't affect any of this.
Yeah. You gotta black it out, like, you gotta black it out.
It's like, I changed it over to entertainment. I'm looking at it through the lens of I'm being entertained. There's good entertainment, there's bad, and there's something in between. But sometimes you'll find someone who will just get into your brain and make a lot of sense.
Tell me, what music are you listening to now?
Mainly classical and fucking orchestra music.
Is that it?
I fucking love it. It's just you know your man, he's a director, he did Batman trilogy, Nolan. He's got some unbelievable music in his movies. And that Dune movie, the new one, the music, that kind of thing.
Okay,
Moby, I've been listening a lot to Moby.
Moby's good, yeah.
I didn't really get into Moby when he started.
Oh, I was into him, yeah. We used to listen to that.
It's like, it's weird, it's like either they're dead or retired. And then I love this shit. 10 years later, like.
Yeah. Jeez, Moby's 30 years gone more. Like.
Easily,
I've seen him a good few times.
But I love his fucking music.
There's one album there that we used to listen to, I'd say it came out, I'd say 93 or 94. I can't remember the name of the album now, but we used to listen to it over and over again. You know what I like about it? He's got a lot of tunes that have a very ethereal quality to them, and then there's a lot of female kind of. It reminded me of Pink Floyd in a weird kind of. You know the way they'd use the female vocals in the back? Yeah. I love that shit. Yeah. They just soar, and there's like, I don't know, there's a current to it. Yeah. I love all that stuff, but I don't want to go looking at modern or current music and shit all over it, because I can't relate to it. That's all that is. So I don't. I go with the music I know and the genres that I like, and I find something that I mightn't have seen back in the day because I was so fucking isolated from everything else. And it's like music finds you like everything else. The job that you do it for a reason aside from what you see. You know, on the subconscious, there's like, you know, you have to endure, you have to suffer this to overcome this, and you're building yourself up, and you're becoming powerful in a weird kind of way. And you find that it spills into other parts of your days. And you know, I mean, how long were you in America? Close to 12 years. That's a long time to be in foreign land, like. Yeah. And what was, why did you go there initially? So, back... Was it Philly you went to? Yeah, so 96... We were in Holland working on a farm, and then we came back, and then we were on the dole. And on the dole back in 96, we were on £47.50 a week. Fucking hell. And we used to get the dole and go right next door into the Royal. The Royal, I remember. And then we would drink, and then we might have a few smokes, and then we'd wake up on Friday morning and we'd be broke. So, and I mean broke now. Flash in the pan of a week. So you'd one good Thursday, maybe a couple of pints on the Friday, but you'd be broke. Oh. And this was going on, and then my mother wanted like €15 to do for board, because she just knew I was drinking all the money. And she's like, I'm washing your clothes, your bed, there's a dinner on the table, there's food, and you got to contribute something. So then I went from 47 down to 32, and there was no work, like, and then And then Mark McGlenn was sitting beside me and Mick Carr, and this Thursday the three of us were drinking away, and Paul Griffin was there as well. And Mark goes, "Fuck this shit," he said. I'm going back to Philadelphia. And we looked at him and we went, "We're coming with you." So that was like September 96, I think it was. And then I got a job in SCI. I had been there before, so I started working away and just started saving to go to America in 97. And I think in January or February 97 they made me permanent in SCI, and I said, "Listen, you can give it to somebody else. I'm going to America." So we left on the 21st of March 97. We flew into Philadelphia, and when we were flying over on the 747, Brendan Grace was sitting across the way from us. He was going over as well, but there was 4 seats in the middle and 3 on either side, and there was free drink, 3 cans of harp, and we were like to the air hostess, "Sorry love, can we get 3 cans of harp there please?" And she's like, yeah, no matter. So she bring down 3
harp
three cans of harp, like, and so I never drank it before, and had the 3 cans, and then drank them. And next thing she passed by, "Sorry love, can we get another 3 cans there?" She's like, yeah. So we were like, Jesus, this is mad, like. And there was an old woman sitting beside me, and then so we kept drinking away, and next thing we said, "Sorry love, can we get another 3?" She leaned in and she goes, "Lads, for fuck's sake, go up and get him yourself. I have a job to do," she said. "Go up and get him yourself." So we were going up, we were just getting the cans. So we were hammered on the flight over, and so when we got into JFK, we were shit faced, like. And then we got so yeah, that's kind of how we ended up there, like. And within a couple of years, they were all gone back, and I stayed. But when I did come back in 2008, I was only back 6 or 8 weeks, and the whole thing collapsed.
Really?
And I had no trade, you see, because what I was doing over there didn't apply here. So I had to reinvent myself, and that's how I started getting into the stonemasonry. Because
you did that course thing.
I did a course in Tralee.
What did you think of that?
Amazing. And I actually saw my teacher on Nationwide last week.
Really?
He's teaching them how to carve lettering and
cool.
He Tom Little was his name, and he was absolutely.
And what did they? Because I never did this thing. It was something I thought I'd need, but then I was too busy doing.
Yeah.
And
I had to move down. I had to move down by Tralee for 9 or 10 months to do the course.
Really?
Yeah. We'd friends from America living in Milltown, so I used to stay with them, and then I used to drive over to Tralee to go to school, like.
All right.
But I loved the course. The teacher I think he worked as an editor or something for the Independent.
He wasn't Scottish, was he?
No, he's a Dublin man, but his father was a stone carver, so he left the newspaper and he went back and he went carving, shaping stone and stuff, and he's absolutely gifted. Like, he's done a lot of stuff around the country, but he was really interesting, and he gave you stuff like, I mean, he gave us a stone, and we had to make it into, like, it was a slab of sandstone, maybe that size, and we had a banker. There was 8 or 10 of us in the class. We all had a banker, so you'd put the stone up in the banker, and you'd make a profile, and we made a cylinder like a can of Coke, basically. We carved a can of Coke, you could say. It had the lip on top, and then I really enjoyed it. Some guys, had no interest in it at all, but I really, really enjoyed it.
And in regards to what you did there, how did you think that applied to doing what's demanded in regards to stonework?
So we were given the pitcher and the chisel and the punch, and what it taught you was how to dress a stone, how to feel a stone, like, what I mean, the veins and how they split, and the softness, the tools you used for the soft stone or hard stone, and you learned how to dress stone, really, and shape stuff. It was like other people were into the carving of letters, say, and doing stuff like that.
It's crazy how many different categories there is. I mean, a lot of people would say what I do isn't stonemasonry, but they're just fucking It is stonemason. It's just there's like I think 5 or 6 different fucking categories.
You see like a pillar or something, and you have the plinth at the bottom.
Yeah,
like that's what they were teaching us and stuff. You could go down that route, but I was more just into doing stone walls, and I wanted to kind of learn a bit of black work, but there was no black work really. We only done blacks.
I never did black work, and I have no interest in doing black work. I suppose because of the creative background I'm coming from. It was always going to be stonework.
I can build blocks, but I'm not fast. I'm slow. I couldn't jump in with
But that only comes with like
practice.
Every day.
Yeah.
The brother Graham now is a machine. The blocks, but he can't. He doesn't believe he can do the stone.
Yeah.
He says I tried it, but he said I'd love to. Brendan is another one. Brendan O'Hagan. Brilliant block layer, brick person, unbelievable. And he said he can't do stone. He said he just.
Yeah, and I struggled. I've always struggled with blocks. I used to find it hard, whereas I found stone was easy. Came easy to me, but
your energy. It's profound sometimes if you were to sit back and think about it. And just block out everyone else, because sometimes you have to block out everyone else. You can meet someone now and they'll say, well, this is our idea. This is what we want, and this is stone we have, and you're looking at the stone, and for some reason you're like, that's the wrong stone for your idea. But we can use this stone anyway, but it won't be what you're thinking. But it'll still be. You got to let the stone be the stone. Some people want to shape it to the point where it must be block or brick. Let the stone be the stone. You get great effects, as you know. But I always wondered, would it be worth the fucking time to take a course like that? But now it's kind of too late.
Yeah, I mean, I had an well, actually, how I ever got into stone was I was in my uncle's house, and I think it was like Christmas or something. We were sitting down with my dad, and I'd say he was after a few pints maybe, but we were looking at the fireplace, and he said, I remember when your uncle built that fireplace, and he said, see that little stone there? He said, I told him not to put that stone in there. It was the wrong stone. And I was only 7 or 8 maybe. And I said, well, how do you mean? He goes, well, it's too small. The joint around it is too big. And he said he could have done with a bigger stone. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was only a kid. But that always stuck with me. And I was like, so then I was always looking for the odd stone or the right stone in kind of stonework. And that was the start of it. And then when I was in Philadelphia, I used to be working on the house in the buildings, but there was a stonemason there. He was French-American, it was Gennaro Clemente was his name. But I used to get on great with him, and I used to always watch his work, and I always admired it, and I thought, fuck, I'd love to do that. And I wish I had the trade before I went to America, because I had no trade when I went to America, and if I had the trade, I would have done really well, but I was 35, I think, before I got into stonework.
But your personality in it of itself is better than a trade some of the times.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't good at selling myself. I was bad at pricing jobs. And
here we're all bad at pricing. Even today, I'm like, I'm working for nothing.
How many times have I rang you over the years and said, Jimmy, I got this stone. What's the going rate? I haven't a clue.
But there is no going rate.
I know. Yeah.
It's really basically, what am I willing to do it for? What am I willing to bring this standard of finish to this fucking job with this stone? And you always get this, well, don't worry about the scaft, no, we'll sort that out for you, we'll make sure the stone is up there. And a week or two into the job, you're horsing stone up a fucking ladder, or you're throwing it up, then you're dropping the scaffold yourself, because there's no consensus on the phone. So it's like, to get further and further away from the buildings, as in the building sites, is kind of nearly better, because you lose so much on the building site, because you're finishing something while they're trying to build more of it down the road here. So we were on a site there, and you couldn't get water for love nor money.
Well, that's
like 2 in the day, and even at that, it was like.
Well, I see where I was working for 4 years there now above in Glanmire, and our foreman was he was excellent. Like, I mean, the stone was, if you needed a bag of stone up there. No, I wasn't. I did a few houses, but they did a crew in there doing the house after house after house.
Yeah.
But if they were stuck, I would jump in and I would do a house. But but anything they needed was put in front of them. You
really needed a crew going into the buildings.
You do.
Going in there like an army of one, you're just fucking looking for trouble.
Yeah, and whereas from the way I was trained, I like to put the stone on a banker in front of me.
Yeah.
And so I'm not stooped down.
Yeah.
I'm not bending down. I'm standing. My posture's good, and I dress the stone.
I'm guilty of this though. I started out with various bankers, if you will. Like the brother made me a cool bench that I could just fuck into the back of the bank.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's on some job somewhere still. It's and I mean it's like I'm on the ground.
I would pick up 4 concrete blocks, stack them, and just a banker or just a box with sand just to hold it. Anything at all, just so I'm not bending down. And I dress my stone, and I might dress stone for a couple of hours. And
you're better off. It pays in the end.
Yeah, and instead of trying to make the stone work, I kind of build out, and then I kind of fill in the gas if I need to. But
because I'd be in such a hurry to impress on them what it's going to look like, I'm just straight at it, go straight for the bone.
But like I see the guys on the site, and they're breaking stone, they're bent down, they're on their knees, and they're breaking as they're going, and it's like
I'm this fucking idiot, and it's dressing it in your hand is not a good idea either.
No,
you're fucking up your shoulder and
the shock
every
is
part. So that's like
so when you have it on the banker, the banker's absorbing the shock and not in your hand, like
of course. I'm even to last week I was probably doing because I'd be fucking like a circus act where I'm balancing up here because one little stone, but then you feel it in the evening. You know what I mean? You feel it. No wonder I have a fucking stupid arm. But there are things you're consciously, you're always trying to make your day. You're developing habits, good habits, and it's like you will relapse now and then because the pressure of that you put on yourself.
Trying to get it done.
You're like, fuck it, I'm not going all the way down there now. I'm here, I'll do it now, and bang. It's like the saw. I don't want to use the saw, but I will use it when I must get into the habit of using it more because it's way more.
Well, sometimes when you have a stone and the sides are curved, I'll cut them.
Hello?
5 minutes.
Okay.
I will cut the edges off and dress the side of it then so it will fit.
I'm usually
because like
you know when you're doing the returns on a door or a window. That's usually when I use the saw. I just cut the bit that's going into the
door.
Yeah.
But other than that, you just chip it, if you just do your cut and then dress the side of it, you'll never see the cut back.
Absolutely, but I'm just so fucking I get really anal about these fucking things. It's like it looks too fucking. It doesn't look like stone.
But you're the only one that sees that.
Exactly, and I keep telling myself this. Don't be a retard.
Yeah.
So she's bringing Sadly down to fucking Cork now to a birthday party, so I have to fucking babysit the other lunatic.
That's no problem.
So I'm going to have to
wrap it up
there soon. Come here, thanks for coming on the Blackbird today, and hopefully next time you come in we'll have a whiskey.
Thank you for having me.
That's a very different podcast when you have a whiskey. I went here for 5 hours with a litre and a half of whiskey, and before I even looked at the fucking thing, I get a text that morning. Jeez, but you better delete that. So I didn't even look at it. I deleted the whole thing. I had to. Because I don't like people.
I know.
I want them to know that they're safe. That I'm not going to take advantage.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm laughing as I'm deleting everything. Because I think I'm still... It's like when you wake up from a dream and the dream is going away fast, but you're trying to remember the funny bits.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it was fun though. It was fun. He came back in later and we did a sober one.
A sober one, yeah.
But no, it's good fun, man.